Alright, boys and girls, 22nd day of November 708. This high school graduate is going to show you some stuff. This is the Deus HF2 Coil boot camp. Disclaimer here for you all that don't know. I turned down a job as an instructor. And around the year 1989, to teach the fine people of the Air Force some systems on the mighty C-130 aircraft. I didn't take that job. I probably should have now, looking back, okay? All right. Good information here, okay? Now, this will be a fixed call height test, so you can see better what's happening here. You see the smash can. You see that little 10-carat gold ring up there. That little 10-carat gold ring reads about 50-51 on this machine. The 29 kilohertz band, okay? Multi-frequency. That could exist in the wild. This detector offers you, depending on how you've got it run, to give you some intel. You might find that gold ring. Now, it may not be a gold ring up there. Keep that in mind. This is version 3.10. Now, version 4 is being looked at, you know, and it will be released, and I will be looking at it. If I see any major changes in operation, I will be doing videos showing. Okay, yeah, and by the way, where's my Trans Bay detector dude? He should be watching this, because he kept saying 63.2 kilohertz was a pretty good way to run this machine. Well, let's see what happens here. Okay. You're out in the wild with this machine, you're running. Now, I'm going to show sensitive program here, okay? I have looked at the general program. You're running the sensitive program. That's what I'm going to show. Here's the 29 kilohertz band, channel 0. Disclaimer here, everything you see in this video, and believe it or not, I recommend this. Hunting modern trash sites with this machine, select digging, looking for gold rings. Don't run your offset using full tones. Actually, I'd probably tell you to keep it at 0. No more than 5. Okay? So this is speed 2.5. 29 kilohertz band, channel 0. Now the gold ring is down there. Okay? You hear that signal, you see that meter. You hold your coil up in the air. You're getting signal for miles. You may walk. I'm going to rotate on this target. Remember, this is a fixed coil height test. So you hear that signal there. 86 in the meter. You got signal for miles. You may suspect a can. I'm transitioning to the 89 kilohertz band. Now, disclaimer here, and I'll show you. We'll run this speed on this 29 kilohertz band. We'll just run it to 5 and re-sweep here. Listen. That's what you got. We're over here. That's what you got. Now remember, that can is different construction in different parts, plus the dimensions of it here could play a part, meaning it's longer than it is wide. Okay? Now we went to the 29 kilohertz band. I'm sorry, the 89 kilohertz band. Okay? Here is speed 2. Okay? So you hear that signal. We got not much different than we had in the 29 kilohertz band. That's full tones audio. Is there anything there telling you that gold ring is there in that audio? The sharpshooter has trouble hearing any, okay? We're going to increase the speed to 4. 89 kilohertz multi-frequency channel 6. You hear that? Definite difference. ID is 80 now. Over here, you hear that. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transition back to the 29 kilohertz band. It's in speed 4. Okay, so this is what you're going to hear now. 29 kilohertz band, channel 0, speed 4. I'm transitioning now to the 89 kilohertz speed 4. You hear the difference in the sound there. That's a big key in using this coil in the wild. When you change that frequency and that target sounds different, that could be your red flag, okay? 89 kilohertz band, speed 3. So a little bit of a difference there, but not as good as speed 4. Listen. Speed 5. Speed 5 over here. That's a dead ringer, ain't it? Dead ringer. Going back to the 29 kilohertz, channel 0, sweeping. Now that's high speed. Here's the 89 kilohertz. Listen. I've got 77 in the meter. I'm going to come over this direction. I want you to see this here, okay? Okay, I'm in the 89 kilohertz band, channel 6. We're in reactivity 5. You see that ID? You get to hear that. And we done know it sounds different than the 29 kilohertz band. Okay, so I'm going to let this reactivity down to 1. Notice what happened to the ID. It went up. And this target sounds different. The target scenario sounds different. Okay? So maybe you've got a clue there is what I'm trying to show you. You're out with this machine and you come over a big object that sort of resembles a can in its behavior. Back at the 29 kilohertz. I'm going to let the speed down. Let's say you're using the machine in 2.5. You hear that overload sound like, well, you know that's a big target if you get experience with this machine. Well, don't walk off of it. Don't walk off of it, okay? Check it. Have your program over here set up with some faster reactivity like 4 or 5. You hear how different that sounds? Let me get back here to speed 4. You hear how different that sounds. That was speed 4 you just heard. Now we're going to transition here to mono program. All right, now I've got it set the same way. The offset's currently 0, full tones. That's 63.2 kilohertz. Speed 2.5. So you get to hear that. You got 88 in the meter. Okay, 87. We're over here. You got 90 in the meter. You see that? You might suspect that's a can. You hold your coil up and you're getting signal out to ash. You might walk off. I'm going to let the reactivity to 4. This is 63.2 kilohertz mono program. I've still got high ID. I may be getting some detection on that gold ring, but that is speed 4. I just transitioned to sensitive program 89 kilohertz, speed 4. Listen. Big difference, huh? Back to the mono program 63.2. Listen. Now I'm over here. I still got 88, 89 in the meter, okay? Speed 5, 63.2 kilohertz. $86 in the meter. So the meter trend here is sort of telling you a little bit about the sound on this machine. 88 in the meter. There's no real help there. All right. We're going to go up in the frequency. 88.3 kilohertz. Speed 4. You hear that? I got 86, 87 in that meter. I just transitioned to 89 kilohertz. Multi-frequency. You hear the difference. Back to the 88.3 kilohertz. Single frequency. Speed 4. I've got 88 in the meter. I'm transitioning to the 89 kilohertz. Speed 4. My ID has come down. You get to hear that audio. I'll sweep it again in single frequency. We're going up. We're going to max it out at 120 kilohertz. We'll go to speed 5, and I'm going to change this 89 kilohertz band to speed 5. Okay? Here's the 89 kilohertz channel 6 speed 5. Here's the mono program 120 kilohertz speed 5. See what my ID is reading. You hear the audio, same offset. Back to the 89 kilohertz speed 5. See what my meter's done, it's dropped more. Seeing more of that go ring. Reporting it. We'll come back over here, 89 kilohertz speed 5. I got 82, 83 in the meter. 120 kilohertz speed 5. I got 87 in the meter. You get to hear that audio. Back to the 89 kilohertz. So, checking targets over cans or bigger items like that. This multi-frequency seems has advantage running it higher. Since I am standing here, okay, now don't get mixed up here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this frequency max to 53. Okay? You hear that? I've got 77 in the meter. I just transitioned to 29 kilohertz. Okay? I'm still in the 29 kilohertz channel 0. You see that? I'm transitioning to the 53 kilohertz band. Speed 5. ID has dropped. And the sound has changed. Yeah, the sound changes and the ID changes. Alright? That's the first run here. We may show some more, alright?